The story is about a young boy named Simon, a digger who grew up in an underground city alongside his best friend and brother figure, Kamina. While Simon was content with underground life, Kamina wishes to go up to the surface and explore the world above, hoping to be reunited with his father. They attempted various times to escape, but would fail at every turn, so fate shined upon them when a giant beast mech called a gunman crashes down and attacks their village. During the attack, they meet a woman named Yoko Littner, who is a member of a rebel group that fights these monstrous machines. The trio would soon discover a small mech that Simon discovered earlier and uses it to fight back against the gunman and escape to the surface. From then on, epic battles, hilarity, tragedy, and fan service ensues as our protagonist begins their quest to take down the man responsible for enslaving mankind underground, the Spiral King, using their own gunman named Gurren Lagann. Gainax is no slouch when it comes to mecha anime, for they have worked on shows such as Gunbuster, Diebuster, and of course, Evangelion. For those who have seen Evangelion, may know that it was a really depressing and a rather psychological show, but Gurren Lagann is on the other side of the spectrum. The show brings us back to the roots of mecha anime by being over the top, hot-blooded, and full of positivity and enthusiasm. The themes that are in Gurren Lagann are portrayed in a fun-filled, exciting fashion, and the pacing is pretty good up until somewhere during the second half of the series, where I feel that the show kinda dragged on a bit in a certain episode. Fortunately, it's only a minor problem, and it quickly gets back on track. The story is straightforward in the first half of the series, while the second half gives us a better understanding of the themes in Gurren Lagann, as well as answering a lot of questions. Most of the characters are likable and memorable. Simon is the prime example of a coming-of-age protagonist who looks up to Kamina as his mentor and as a brother. Through the friendship of these two, we get to see a truly fascinating aspect in Simon's character, and his bond with Kamina plays a huge role in his character development. Of course, other characters like Yoko and Nia also help Simon grow further as a character, making him very determined and strong-willed. Kamina is of course the mentor figure for Simon, who has a very outgoing personality as well as a very high fighting spirit. Through these character traits, Kamina becomes a memorable character in his own right, and it makes him very hard not to like. Seriously, you have to really try to not like Kamina. Alongside the main characters, the secondary cast is full of colorful personalities, and the villains, while pretty self-explanatory, are really entertaining to watch. So bottom line, the characters are really good. Since Gurren Lagann is a super robot show, you are guaranteed to see it break the laws of physics and go beyond the impossible. While normally I complain about a show not having any logic in it, considering that this is a super robot show made by one of the most bizarre anime companies of all time, then why not embrace the impossible and have some fun? The point of Gurren Lagann is to go beyond the limits and do the illogical. It's a true callback to the super robots of old, while at the same time goes all out and provides us with an incredible coming-of-age story full of thrills and excitement. The visuals are intense, dynamic, and well animated. The character designs remain consistent for most of the series, though at times it can look rather meh. This is especially prominent in episode 4. Other than that, I really love the visuals. There are also a lot of homages and references to past Gainax shows and anime individuals, which is very charming. The gunmen are pretty creative and cool. They are machined, but they move and look very organic. The Gurren Lagann itself, while being based off of Getter Robo and Zambot 3, is quickly becoming an iconic mech in its own right. Overall, while there are minor problems in the visuals, it remains very good throughout the series. The soundtrack is fantastic. The opening theme, Sororo Days, is becoming one of the best anime theme songs in recent times. I like the first ending theme a lot, though I don't honestly know how I feel about the second ending theme. When it comes to voice acting, It's pretty good for both languages. Simon is voiced by Tetsuya Kakihara, the voice of Natsu from Fairy Tail and Angelo from Gundam Unicorn. He was good, but I felt he lacked a bit of the hot-bloodedness. In contrast, Yuri Lowenthal, Simon's English voice, does a much better job acting out Simon's emotions. Kamina is voiced by Katsuyuki Konishi in the Japanese version, and he voiced Bullfrog in Gao Gaigar. He does a great job voicing Kamina here. In the English dub, Kamina is voiced by Kyle Arbar, you know, the narrator from DBZ. Ironically though, I didn't think his performance was as good as Konishi. He wasn't bad, he just kinda lacked that spunk. Yoko's Seiyu is Marina Inoue, who would actually go on to voice Armin from Shingeki no Kyojin. In English, she's voiced by none other than Michelle Ruff, who had a lot of experience in voice acting. Out of all the shows made by Gainax, I consider Gurren Lagann to be their best work. I prefer it over Gunbuster and Evangelion. It's such a great throwback to the super robot genre, and it gives the genre a fresh coat of paint. It has a great story, great characters, great animation, and great music. The only complaints I have is that it kinda dragged on a bit, and sometimes the character models looked really bad. Other than that, Gurren Lagann is an anime that is almost perfect, and I highly recommend anyone who wants to get into super robots, or just anime in general, to go watch it. It's a fantastic series that truly pierces the heavens. Final score, 9.5 out of 10.